Hello, my dear students. Today we are going to study the topic engineering materials, and in this topic we'll see the classification of the materials and engineering materials, and we'll see what is the selection criteria for engineering materials. So let's start with the part one. So, engineering materials. What is engineering materials? It is the substances which are useful in the field of engineering are called engineering materials. A particular material is selected on the basis of the following consideration. So, the following considerations are: the first one is the properties of the material. In the properties of the material, there are several properties of the material, like mechanical properties, in which strength, ductility, toughness, hardness, strength to weight ratio, etc., which are included, and so many we will study in the detail in the next part. And the second property is the physical properties of the material, like density. We have you have must been seen this in the class of 12th, and you can also see in the physics and chemistry also this, what is the density of the material. Specific heat. What is specific heat? It is the heat required to increase the temperature of a substance by 1 degree centigrade. And what is thermal expansion? Thermal expansion is the property of the material by virtue of which it can expand its dimensions in the various direction, like x, y, z, by increment of the temperature, and vice versa is also true. Means if we decrease the temperature, the dimension will decrease. The next is conductivity. This conductivity can be taken into electrical conductivity also, and in a thermal conductivity. The thermal conductivity, it is the measure of the total heat transfer from the substance, and in case of the electrical conductivity, it is the current transfer, means current flow in the conductor. How much current is flowing from the conductor, it will be decided by the property which is known as conductivity. And the last one is the melting point of the material. This is also a characteristic of the material. Means it if the melting point of each and every material is different. What is melting point? It is the temperature value at which the material will convert from the solid state to liquid state. Next is the chemical properties. Most of the students have seen these terms, like oxidation, reduction, also the corrosion, flammability, toxicity, etc. Then this is the last one, which is manufacturing properties. There are so many manufacturing properties. Means first is the formed properties. Means the material can be formed into a different shape permanently. If a small cube can be a small cube of a material can be converted into a plate by the property which is known as the form, by hammering, by applying the forces, compressive forces on that cube to make a plate of that material. That property is known as the formed property. Means that material will have a formed property, so that it can convert from the cube to the plate, sheets, etc. The casting is in case of Hindi, we can in terms of Hindi, it is known as the dhalai. Dhalai means when a material is converted into liquid metal, and that liquid metal is poured means poured into a shape which is required, and after the solidification of that liquid state of the material, it will convert into a new shape and size of the material. So that kind of property must have a material, so that it can form from the raw material to the new shape of the product. So that property must be there. So that property is known as the casting properties. The next is the machine means the cutting of the material to gain a new shape, size of the raw material. If a block is required to be converted into a circular rod, it is required to cut at a periphery to make a cylindrical rod, or simple a small rod. That is done by the some particular type of cutting tool. So that materials must have a machining properties also. In the same way, the welding properties also should be there, so that we can choose the material on the basis of these properties. If we need a material to be welded, so that material must be the some kind of welding property. So we will select on the basis of these properties. The second is the cost of the material. So what is the cost of the material? Means what is cost of material? There is no point 3. So what is the cost of the material? The cost of the material will decide the selection of the material, because just take an example. If there are two materials, say first is A, which is very costly, and second is a B, which is very cheaper, then we have to select the material which will fulfill our requirement. So if both A and B fulfilling our requirement, then we will select B, because both are fulfilling our requirement, but B is cheaper. So if we take this material, then we will be in profit, because ultimately we are going to sell the product which we have made in the factories or industries. So we will select material B on the basis of cost, so that we will get more profit, so profit will be high. Next is availability of the material. Just I'm taking the example of the Rajasthan. There is the scarcity, means lack of woods material, and we have the abundancy means the much more quantity of the stones in the Rajasthan. So if we are going to make something like suppose the side walls of the door is to be made, we can make made by the wood also, and we can made by the stone also. So we will decide on the basis of availability. So what is the availability in of the material for that application in the Rajasthan? It is stone. So we will select stone because availability is more. So that material will be low cost, so it can be directly connected with the cost of the material, because if the availability is high, then cost of the material will be low. So we will choose the cheaper price of the material, cheaper price. The next is the service in life. This term is known as service in life of the material. Means if the service of the material will is more for a particular application, then we will select that material of after using that material once. Then we will choose on the basic, means if there are two materials, sub says A and B, if the service of this material for the same application is higher for this A and lower for this B, then we will select this material in the next working process of the same service. The next is the appearances. So many times the consumer ask for the appearance of the material, means they can ask for the color of the surface, they can ask for the texture, they can ask for the roughness. So on the basis of the requirement of the consumer, we will choose the select material for the appearance of material. So this is the selection of the material. So the one engineer can select a material on the basis of their application, cost, availability, service and life, and the properties of the material. So next is classification of engineering materials. So the broadly material engineering materials are broadly classified into two categories. First is the metals, and second is the non-metals. So in metals there are mostly used, that is known as the ferrous materials, and second is non-ferrous material. So we are going to see this Fe. This Fe means the if the iron content in the material is high and much more higher, means if the majority of the material in the substance is iron, that material is known as the ferrous materials. And if there is no iron, then it is known as non-ferrous material. So we can see this pure aluminum, pure copper, pure lead, pure silver, pure tin, pure zinc are the non-ferrous materials. Okay, and the in case of the ferrous materials, wrought iron. In the wrought iron, there is 99% of the iron is present. In the carbon steel, there is a 3 to is a point 0.4 to 6.67 percentage of the carbon is there. In alloy steel, in place of carbon, there is a different materials are used. Just like if I in the place of means if 95% is iron and 5% is copper, then it is known as the alloy steel. And if the carbon percentage is more than 4%, then it is known as the cast iron. So means we can see if the carbon percentage is much more higher in the iron, then it is known as the cast iron. In case of the non-metals, they are broadly classified in the polymers and ceramics. In case of the polymers, we have studied already in the 12th or intermediate classes. that what is in chemistry. There is two types of plastics are there, the thermoplastic and thermosetting. This is the thermosetting and this is thermoplastic. The thermosetting plastics are those plastics which are not convertible to its original shape, size and properties after heating. But in case of thermoplastic, it will regain its shape, size and its properties after heating, and after cooling it can be converted into its original shape, size and properties. In case of thermo setting polymers, there are example of phenol formaldehyde, which is known as bakelite, polyester, and epoxy resins. And in case of the thermoplastic, there are the examples of PVC, means polyvinyl chloride, polyethylene acrylic resins. And now the next part of the non-metals is ceramics. In ceramics, there are refractoriness, abrasives, glass, cement, concretes are the examples of ceramics. So thank you for this part one, and we'll study the in the next part. We will study some mechanical properties of the material, and we'll see some definition on stress, strain, and etc. And thank you. Just stay tuned for the next lecture.